Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Jarrett Sorensen, and today we're going to be talking about GoHighLevel. And I don't want to sound like someone else on the internet on YouTube, but I really do believe, as he does, that this is the greatest software ever. I've been using GoHighLevel for about a year now, and the more I use it, the more I learn how to actually use it, and the more I really understand how powerful it is and how much you can really do with it. So let's dive into this GoHighLevel review for 2022. So the first thing that you will see when you log into GoHighLevel is the dashboard. So you can see this gives an overview of everything that's going on for your business. So this is a dummy account, so you'll see that there's not a lot of things going on here. But as soon as you start getting customers into the database, it will show up in your opportunities, how many of them you have closed, how many are still open, how many you've lost. Same thing with the pipeline value and how much value is in your pipeline. And then you can also track the conversion rate, which is awesome. You can see if the things that you're doing are actually converting well or if you need to improve them. There are more things here as far as the funnel for your pipeline, where they're at in your funnel, whether they're at the top of your funnel, the middle, the bottom, etc. And you can see their distribution over here in the stages of where they're at in that funnel as well, and what percentage are in which area. There are also tasks down here. So anytime you assign one of your users in your company to complete a task, this would be something that is manually done, that isn't done with the automation of GoHighLevel. Something like follow-up. Follow-up is what I use this for a lot of times. If I'm doing cold calls, I'll manually follow up with someone and assign myself a task to do so that I remember. So this is the dashboard. You can see also at the top here, we have these two banners. These two banners are for services that GoHighLevel provides to you at a very reduced cost in comparison to, for example, Yext, what you could get Yext for outside of GoHighLevel. And then WordPress, they do have, this is brand new, but they do have their own WordPress hosting that's hosted on the Google Cloud platform. And it allows you to host your website, or if you are an agency, your clients' websites on your GoHighLevel platform. And you're able to rebuild them as well. If you're an agency and you're hosting other clients, you're able to rebuild them for the Yext and the WordPress charges as well. And you can choose whatever you want to rebuild them for. For example, let's open another tab and I can show you. So to see the rebilling, you would just go to the agency view, and then you would go to the reselling section. And you can see right here that GoHighLevel's price for Yext is $30. And if you wanted to resell that, you could resell it for any amount you choose. And the same with WordPress over here. Your cost through GoHighLevel is $10 per site. Or if you wanted to upgrade, you could get unlimited sites for $350 a month. If you don't have a lot of websites, doesn't really make sense, which is why I'm on that $10 per site plan as well. And then you can choose what you want to sell it for on the platform. All right, back into the location view of GoHighLevel. Let's go through the conversations. The conversations page is where you can follow up with any and all conversations that you're having with people, whether it be through email, through SMS, through your Google My Business page, through your Facebook Messenger, your Instagram Messenger, whatever you have linked, you can follow up with those conversations right here. And you can see that you can filter right here by the unread conversations, all recent conversations, and then all conversations that are going on. The manual actions is where you can also see any pending tasks that need to be done by you, by any of your team members in the company. And the templates are amazing. So you can add any of these templates, and this is a chiropractic demo account. And so you can see that there are already some templates that I have loaded into here. They're all text messaging templates, and they allow you to easily send the same message to people just by selecting which template you want to use. And now on to calendars. So if you're using Calendly, you don't need it anymore. The calendar in GoHighLevel is very highly functional. You're able to do I mean, it has been a while since I've used Calendly. They may have added some new features, but for the most part, you're able to do everything that you were able to do in Calendly in HighLevel. So you can see this is a calendar view of what you have going on. Obviously, since this is a demo account, it's blank, but if we were to book an appointment, we could add a new contact and say test person is the name. They're in Denver time zone. Let's say this is their phone number. It's fake and test@email.com. It's going to allow me to do that. So we'll just create a test contact here. And once we have that test person, we're able to book them into a calendar. So you can see this is the only calendar, the sales op calendar. And then we can choose a day and time to book them into that calendar. And you can also add notes here, any additional preferences like the meeting location. If you wanted to, for this one meeting, add a new location, and let's say it was a specific Zoom link, you could just paste that in there. And by default, this calendar is set to confirm the appointment based on your availability. So that's everything that you can do there. So let's book an appointment so that we can see what it looks like on the next page. All right, so there's the appointment in our calendar. And then if we go over here to appointments, you'll see that the appointment showed up. It is confirmed. Let's say that, 11 a.m., that's in 10 minutes for me. Let's say that 11 a.m. comes around and that person's a no-show. We can just come over here. We can say, hey, they were a no-show. We'll mark them as a no-show. And now that they're marked as a no-show, certain things can be triggered to happen knowing that they are a no-show. And we'll talk about that more, but that is in the automation section. All right, now let's jump into calendar settings. So this is the calendar settings, and I wanted to show you this because you should be able to see what you can do and compare this to Calendly. So you can link your calendars. Right now, they will allow you to link with Google and Outlook, I believe, and they're working on adding more soon. If you start using this platform and you need more added, then definitely hit up their ideas board and upvote those services that you want added. They're really good at adding stuff. So this is just a bunch of basic stuff with that. As far as the availability, you can set your slot durations, your intervals, any buffer duration between appointments, how many slots you want, or how many appointments per slot, how many appointments per day, any minimum or maximum scheduling that you want, and the hours that you want to be able to schedule within. And there is something that shows up at the top. It's a round robin team setting where you can choose a team and it will select from the team which team member will show up for that meeting next. That isn't on here because it is a unassigned calendar. And then as far as the confirmation, you can add a bunch of other settings and customize that as much as you want. So like I said, this is on the unassigned calendar. If we were to add a team calendar, it would show up over here, and that would allow you to do the round robin scheduling with team members. So let's go back and let's go into contacts. So you can see right away that my test person contact is in here. So this is where you manage your contacts. This is basically a CRM. So if we go into this contact, you can see all of the details that you're able to add for a person. So first name, last name, email address, phone number, date of birth, source that they came from, any tags that you want to add. If they are a customer or a lead, their do not disturb channels, so you can select between emails, text messages, calls, voicemails. Once you add Facebook and a Google My Business or a Google Business profile, you can also toggle the do not disturb on for those channels as well. Offers are tied to memberships. I don't have any of those set up. And then the active campaigns and workflows that they have been in or are in will show up here. So you can see that this was added in the past to the appointment confirmation and reminders. As soon as I added this contact to the calendar, they were put into the appointment confirmation and reminders workflow. When I created the calendar event, it also created an opportunity for this contact. So you can see that the opportunity stage is the appointment was set in the sales op pipeline. And let's go over to the general info. So this includes details about the business, their business name, street address, city, country, state, zip, website, time zone. And one thing that we don't see on here is any custom values. So let's go add one real quick. So you go to settings down here in the left, then you go to custom fields. So we click on add custom field. Let's make it a text field and we'll name it Google Business Profile link. So let's say that we want to track the link to their Google Business Profile page. We would add this here, and then we would go back to the contact, and now you can see additional info here. And you can see Google Business Profile link. Let's say we just have it as google.com for now. I'm not going to actually go get a link, and then we just hit save. And now we have their Google Business Profile link stored in their contact info as well. And you can see over here the conversation that's going on. This text message was sent out when I created the appointment, and I really hope that that's not an actual number that I sent out to, but we can check the details here. And oh, good. So because I don't have a Twilio account for this, it's trying to send, but it's never going to because I don't have a phone number set up to send out from. And then over here on the right-hand side, you can see a lot more information. So if they were to visit a landing page or a website, for example, you would see it show up in this activity that they had visited your website, your landing page, and any actions that they had taken over here. You can also add any tasks to this user and assign it to users within your company to do whatever those tasks may be. You're able to add notes as well, any custom notes, and you're also able to book appointments from this section as well. So you can see that appointment that I booked shows up for this contact, shows that the status was a no-show. All right, let's go back to the contact list. You have a lot of flexibility with how you view your contacts. You're able to filter by any of the fields that you see here. And I won't go into detail on a lot of those, but they allow you to create a filter and then save it as a new smart list. So you can see down here in the bottom right, save as smart list. That allows you to create lists that you are able to use. And let's just name this so that you can see what it looks like. So up here, you can see my new smart list called test. And you can see there are a lot of other tabs up here. Bulk actions happens anytime there is a bulk action. So if you were to select a bunch of records and perform any one of these actions, that action would show up in the bulk actions afterwards. And with that smart list that I just created, you can manage those over here, rename them, and also share them with other users in your company. So let's jump over to the opportunities page. The opportunities page shows what opportunities you have in your company for the contacts that are in the GoHighLevel account. So you can see that, like I mentioned, it created this test person opportunity. It assigned it a value based on the chiropractic industry and what other agencies have been able to achieve with these automations. So you can see that it automatically set this opportunity into the appointment set column because it was triggered by an appointment being set. If you were to move this over to no show, that also would have triggered the appointment to change from confirmed to no show. And if I were to move it over to cancellation, it would trigger messages to be sent out for a cancellation. With the opportunities, you're also able to create other pipelines. Right now, I just have the one in here, but you're able to create other pipelines if you have, say, a cold email and a cold phone call outreach. You're able to create different pipelines and different stages based on your needs. So over here in the pipelines page, you can see we have this one pipeline. If we were to edit this, you can see all the stages that are part of this pipeline, and you can add stages, you can reorder stages just like that. And this visible and funnel chart and pie chart are those things that we showed on the dashboard on the very first part of this video. So if we jump back over to the dashboard, you can see now that these have populated for the funnel and the stages distribution to say that we have an appointment set and they've gone beyond the opt-in, so it's showing that as part of the funnel as well. And for the stages distribution, we only have one, and it's in the appointment set stage. So now let's jump over to the payments page. You can see right away it says Stripe Connect is not found. I'm not going to connect it for this account since it is a demo account, but you would want to connect Stripe or PayPal if you prefer in order to use this section. So right here you can see that we have invoices, orders, transactions, products, tax settings, integrations. Again, if we go over the integrations, you can see you can use PayPal or Stripe currently. What I want to talk about first is the invoices. So you can see that we have regular invoices and we have recurring invoices. Recurring invoices is actually something that's brand new and lets you actually send out an invoice to your clients on a recurring basis, whether that be monthly, bi-weekly, whatever you choose. So let's jump in and see what an invoice looks like. Create a new one. So this is the invoice. You're able to change the details for your company, and you should bill this to a client. So you will add a client. We just have that one, and you're able to add any more details if anything is incorrect. And then you can go ahead and change the issue date, the due date, and then you want to make sure that you actually add an item. So if we add an item, let's say that it's not going to show anything here because I don't have anything added. So let's add a new item. Let's say it is a physical good that is a book. We're going to add a price name, paperback, and the amount, let's say, is $15. And let's add the item. Currently, you're only able to add a percentage discount, but that is something that I hope they add in the future, where you can add a dollar amount instead of a percentage amount. And once this is done, you would hit save, and after it's saved, you can send it. For some reason, it's not allowing me to send it, probably because I don't have Stripe connected. And then, of course, you can also rename this from new invoice to whatever it may be. Paperback book, for example, and then hit save again. Let's go back now. So a recurring invoice is going to be very similar, except for this section at the top. How often you want it to be sent out, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, the start date, the end date, and how many days in advance you want to send it out. And then the rest of this stuff is just like the last one that we already saw. And once you have that all set up, now that I've moved my face, you can see up here, once you have the frequency set up, you can see these three little dots will allow you to preview the invoice, manage the auto payment, or end the recurring template. So once it actually is sent out and scheduled as a recurring template, you can manage the client's auto payment, or you can end that recurring template. And this auto payment allows you to just automatically bill them every single time an invoice is sent so that they don't have to log on, enter their details, and so on. All right, let's go back. So from here, if we go to the products page, this is where you can import products from Stripe that you've already set up using this button right here, or you can create products and they will also be created in Stripe. Once the products are created here, you can also use them on any landing pages or websites that you've created as well. We'll talk about that later. All right, now let's move on to the marketing page. So with the marketing page, you are able to use this social planner to manage all of your accounts all at once. So you're able to post to Facebook, Instagram, your Google business profile, your LinkedIn, and your Twitter. So the Twitter page is actually brand new as well. And it's not going to let me show you what that page looks like without connecting my social accounts, which I don't want to do for this demo location. But you're able to send out text, images, video, and anything that these platforms allow right through this social planner. And you're able to also schedule them out to be posted at times that you choose. So for Google Business Profiles, I know that's not something that they allow currently on their platform. So this is very helpful to be able to plan out all of your social media posts and post them at times that you choose so that you can do everything all at once and not have to remember, oh yeah, I got to post that Google Business Profile post, but I have to do it like a couple days apart. You just plan it all out on the social planner and it does everything for you. Let's jump over to the email builder. So the email builder is a way to create very good looking emails and send them out as campaigns. This is really good for a list of users who have subscribed to your newsletter or something like that on your website, and you're able to create emails to send to them. So this whole time I'm talking about the email templates. This is actually the campaigns. So this is where you create the campaigns to send out the emails. But first we actually want to create a template. So the template, when we create a new one, you can choose a design editor or a code editor based on your preference and what you're most comfortable with. So let's choose the design editor. And this design editor pulls up the design for your email template. You are able to add anything over here into this email. You're able to choose the layout, whether you want 1 column, 2 columns, 3. If you want the columns split into different widths, you're able to choose that right down here. And you're able to add images, buttons, footers, social links, dividers, any custom code that you want, videos. You're able to add a shopping cart, RSS headers, RSS items. The email builder is really a fully functional email builder, and it creates beautiful looking emails. So let me go back and I'm going to show you a couple of the templates that they have. So now that my face is moved, you can see if you create the email from this new button in the top right here, you can choose from a existing campaign that you've already set up, which is a great option, or you can choose from their gallery, or you could even import it from an external source. Let's look at this import. So right now, their only option for import is MailChimp. So if you use MailChimp currently, this is a great option to import your email templates from MailChimp into GoHighLevel. And you're able to just give it the URL and it will create that template from the MailChimp template. Let's go back and create it from their gallery though. You can see that they have several options to choose from. Whether you want to give an update to your subscribers, just send a simple email, send out a promotion. You can choose a membership welcome email template that you can send out with your automations later on. And there is an order confirmation from Shopify if you're using Shopify, and then an abandoned cart checkout template as well. So let's just open an update template, and you can see that there's a beautifully designed template all ready for you to customize with your own logo, with your own images and your own wording, and a lot of the heavy lifting is already done for you. So let's jump over to the other templates. This is something that we already talked about. It has the text templates, but you can also add an email template as well. And this template editor for the email is a lot more basic. It's meant for sending very basic emails, and this would be better suited for cold email prospecting, for example, if you're sending out cold emails for prospecting. And even though it is much more basic than the other editor, they still have tons of options for formatting and making this message look great for the people you're sending it out to. One thing you may have seen on the conversations page that I didn't click on was the trigger links. So if we go into there, trigger links are used to track click and open rates. So when you create a trigger link, you can name it email 1 and then put a link URL in there. You can see I've used a couple before. Let's just put this form link in there. So you can see that I have a form. It was actually created in GoHighLevel. We'll talk about forms a little later. But the reason I would use this form link in here as a trigger link is so that I can track when users actually click on it and open it. If I were to have this link in an email or a text without a trigger link, I wouldn't be able to actually track as well when the users open it or interact with it. So let's save that. And let's actually go and show you how we use that. So if we go back to our templates, we don't have that email because I didn't save it. So let's create a new email template. We'll name it email 1 in conjunction with that other trigger link. So now let's go and add that trigger link. You would just click right here and choose the email 1 trigger link. And you can see it inserts it as a custom value, which is why it's surrounded by the curly braces. And if we hit save, it wants us to put a subject. We'll just put subject and hit save. And now that email with the trigger link is in our templates. So let's now move over to the automation. So for new accounts, automation consists of workflows. For any old accounts, you may have campaigns and triggers, but we're just going to talk about workflows. So since this is a chiropractic demo location, you'll see that there are a lot of workflows related to chiropractic. This one right here is a database reactivation offer for a $29 exam consult adjustment. Let's jump into this one. So this is one of the most powerful things in HighLevel and is one of the reasons that I love HighLevel so much. You can customize these automations to your heart's content. You can do almost anything in here. So everything in HighLevel starts with a trigger. So whether this automation, this workflow is triggered manually, which this one is, or you set up a trigger, once this workflow is triggered, one of those two ways, it's going to go through this process until it finishes. So for workflow triggers, you can see there are tons and tons of triggers that you can choose from, whether it is a calendar-based trigger, a contact-based trigger, a contact-based trigger based on the contact's actions, an event-based trigger, whether it be for calls or emails, a Facebook lead form trigger, or membership triggers. Those are something that we haven't looked into yet, but those are basically a membership trigger. Memberships are something that I haven't gone over yet, but they are courses that you can create for your members. An opportunity-based trigger, remember those are the pipelines, the stages. A payments-based trigger, or a Shopify-based trigger. There are tons of different options to trigger these workflows and have the automations run when they are triggered. Let's cancel this out. So each one of these things that you see in here is a step in the automation workflow. So you can see the very first thing that happens is it sends out an SMS, and then it waits for a reply to that SMS. Now in this case, if 5 days passes and they have not responded to the text message, SMS 1, then it will continue in the workflow. It will continue down to this opt-in keywords. So in the opt-in keywords, it is looking for a reply to the message, whether the reply be sure, yeah, yes, or yes exclamation point. So if it receives one of those responses, it's going to go into the yes branch. If it does not receive one of those responses, it'll go into the no branch. And you can see that after the no branch, it terminates execution. So if it goes into the yes branch, you can see that the next step is to add it to another workflow, and that continues the automation. And part of these workflows is their settings. So in the settings page, a couple of key settings here are the allow multiple. So this allows a contact to go through this workflow multiple times, and then the stop on response. So in certain workflows, you would want to stop the workflow if the contact responds to you. Let's say you're running a cold email prospecting campaign or workflow. As soon as the contact responds, you may want to end the workflow so that they don't continue to receive reminders. And this is something that's almost always turned off when you are using an appointment reminder workflow, because you don't want to stop that reminder workflow just because they responded and said something to you. You can also automatically mark the conversations as read when there are responses within these workflows. And then this email from name and email address allow you to set up the name and email address that the emails will be sent from so that you don't have to do that in each step. They also allow you to send this during specific time windows. So if we choose that option here, we can select what days of the week we want these to be sent and what hours of the day you want them to be sent. And one of the things that I really love about workflows versus the old campaigns and triggers is this history page. This history page allows you to go through and see everything that has happened for each contact and each time that they have gone through this workflow if they've gone more than one time. So obviously they have not gone through here. So let's actually go back to the actions and we'll test the workflow on the test person contact. So when we run that test, we can see right here on the history page that the test person was added to the workflow. they were sent an SMS and now we are waiting for their reply to that SMS. So you're able to go into more details of the person that it was sent to, the day and time it was executed, and really everything that is going on with these workflows, which is one reason, like I said, I really love this over their old campaigns and triggers, because this gives you a detailed log of everything that's going on. So if there's something that you think shouldn't be happening, you can actually go in here and see what's happening and then try to tweak it. So for example, let's say these opt-in keywords weren't really working for me. Sure, yeah, yes. And maybe I wanted to add another. Like if someone said, I would love to, then maybe I could add love as another segment that would put them into the yes column. So that is something that is very helpful to be able to see what's going on. And then you may have noticed this little person right here. So this indicates that someone is in this workflow and they're at this stage waiting for a reply. You can also see the status of any of the people on this status page. So if we go over here, you can see test person is in the workflow status waiting for contact reply. The next execution will be the 21st, which is in 5 days, just like we said. And at that point, they will continue in the workflow. So let's back out of this. I don't actually want to save any of my changes, so we will discard changes. So that's just a really basic overview of what workflows are in HighLevel. So next, let's jump over to sites. So on sites, you can see there's a lot going on here. So the very first thing is that we have funnels. So if you're a ClickFunnels user, you can replace that with this. When you go to a funnel and you create a new step, you can even import your ClickFunnels page right here just by adding the ClickFunnels URL, and it will pull everything from that page so that you don't have to set everything up again. Let's jump back to the funnel pages. So you can see when I create a new funnel, they have a template library. This is only available for the admin or agency users, they call them on HighLevel, but you can see within this template library, there are tons and tons of pre-made templates for you in so many different industries. If we look at the chiropractic industry, for example, since I'm on that, there are 12 different templates that are available for chiropractic that you can choose and then just go and replace your logo, change the color schemes, whatever you want to do, and you have a ready-made template all ready to go. So that is one thing I really love about HighLevel is all these templates they have for so many different industries. So let's go back again. So this template is a pre-made template that I got from the demo that I imported. So if we go into this, you can see there are 3 steps: an opt-in, a schedule, and a thank you page. You're able to switch between those. You can see that little calendar and then the thank you. So I'm not going to go into detail on how to build a funnel in GoHighLevel. That's a video for another time, but you can see there are stats for each of the pages, how many page views, how many opt-ins. So on this opt-in page, that would be very important. How many people went from viewing the page to opting in. And then you can see the sales tab up here. You're able to add products there. And for anyone who buys on the pages, you're able to see the sales data from that as well as all earnings. So this is a very important step into knowing where your users are at in your funnel, whether they're getting caught up on any of your funnel pages as well. So let's move over to the sales page. So for all new funnels, this is not something where you're going to set up the sales on this page. We'll actually set that up in each step. And then let's jump over to the settings. For this, you're able to change the name, the path of your funnels, add any head tracking code, body tracking code, add your favicon, and for any of the sales and payments, you're able to actually test these. So when you switch to test mode, you're able to enter Stripe's test card information and go through the process and see what your user would actually see. And then don't forget domains. You're able to add domains so that you can put your funnels on your own domain. So let's go back to the steps. For each step, I mentioned that there are sales. So you would add them in products right here and add product. There's a whole lot that you can do with products, and I don't want to dive too deep into it because I believe it's another lesson for another time. Because there's so much that we can do with products, and there's a bunch of new features that you can also do with products, such as being able to select multiple products and add them to a cart and enter quantities. That's all stuff that is very new to HighLevel, but it's very much appreciated that they added those features. So let's go back out of the funnels and let's check out some of these other tabs up here. So you can see that they have websites. Websites are a little different from funnels because funnels are generally a sales page designed to inform users of a product and why they may or may not want to buy that product. Websites, on the other hand, are very comprehensive, and you can see that they have a template library again. So let's go into the template library. And if we choose chiropractor again, you can see that there are less of the templates, but they are adding more very frequently. So let's choose this one up here. So this website is going to have a lot more information, and generally these will have a lot more pages. So if we click here for a live preview, it's going to open in a new tab, and you can see that we're going to have different pages: about us, features, team, contact us, and there's going to be a lot more going on in a website than there will be in a funnel. So let's close this. And if at any time there are templates that you like, but you don't really love the color scheme and you don't want to change all the stuff yourself, GoHighLevel just barely launched this, where you can get the template tailored to your own business and they will do all the work for you. So if that is an option that you like, then go ahead and check it out. So the next thing that we want to talk about is blogs. As you can see, this is new. They've been working on this for a while, but this allows you to start writing blog posts. Previously, the only way to do this was to kind of monkey patch it together if you had a blog on WordPress and a website on HighLevel, but now you're actually able to create your blog posts right from within HighLevel. So if we create a new one, you can see it's going to ask for a title, a description. So let's give it a title and a description and create the post. So you can see this blog editor is very extensive. They've added all of these formatting options to it. You're able to add quotes, headers, general text, images, anything that you need in the blog post, you're able to add. So this is the blog editor for HighLevel, which again is brand new, and they are working on adding new features still and working out anything that users may find. But for the most part, this is a very stable and ready to use feature. So let's go back out of this and let's go over to the WordPress. You can see, just like we went over before, this is set to my price of $30 a month. So if you had clients who had their own location in HighLevel, when they visit this page, they will see this where they can purchase WordPress hosting for $30 a month. And they can go through the checkout process and do this all on their own. All right, so this is memberships. I've mentioned this before, but this is a place that you can build out courses and instructional videos and all that kind of stuff for your members. And the first thing is you would need to create a product. So the products are what members see. You can see they have a couple of different kinds of products: a sprint course, a marathon course, membership, or you can just start from scratch and build your own course. And these are tied to offers. So for offers, you can create an offer and select the product that matches that offer and then create the price for the offer. And that is what you would be promoting on your funnels or in your emails, is the offer for your membership products. And then of course they have their analytics that you can go and track the progress. So the settings on the memberships also allow you to customize the site details, add custom domains so it looks like this is your product, and customize your email settings. So the next thing that the Sites tab encompasses is forms. Forms are very useful for gathering information. So for this inbound form, for example, that would be something that would be posted on a website, and you would be able to collect information for people who are interested, in this example, in chiropractic. So you're collecting first name, last name, phone number, email, And from there, we're able to actually reach out based on workflows that are triggered with this form being submitted, and they are able to book them into your calendar as well. Surveys are a little bit different. I don't have any created here, but with surveys, you're able to go through each slide and add different questions to the slide, and then the user would be clicking next through the slides, answering all the questions. The next thing that is on the list is the chat widget. So you're able to actually add this chat widget to your website and give it your own custom intro message, change the avatar image, give a different message for returning customers. And the greatest thing about this is it's all integrated into GoHighLevel. So when people message you on this, you're able to actually create automations that trigger and run for those people. So you could build out your own custom chatbot that gave them options to choose from and gave responses based on very specific options. Or if it could not do what you wanted it to, then you just send a notification to your team saying, hey, this person reached out, this is their phone, their email, let's get back to them. So that's one thing, again, that I love about GoHighLevel is all of this is integrated. And so you're able to integrate that chat widget on your website, and then you're able to build automations based on the chat widget as well. Media is where you can manage all of the media that you upload. So when you're uploading logos to your website or your funnels, you're able to manage all of that in the media library. And then URL directs, if you need any of these, they're here. If you don't worry about it. Next up is reputation. This is something that's very important to businesses because it allows you to collect reviews from previous and current customers. And you can actually set up automations as well that sends out review requests to your future customers when they get to a certain step in your process. So Yext is a important part of this, as it allows you to build a reputation online by listing your business name, phone number, website, and address all over the internet. So this dashboard gives a overview of what's going on with your reputation. And then if we go over here, so you can actually send out review requests right from here. First, you would need to connect your Google Business profile in order to send those out because that's where they're being collected from. But this is where you would send them out. And any that you have collected would show up in the reviews page, and you're able to actually respond to them right from here. So if we jump over to the settings, this is where you could put your Google review link without actually linking your Google Business profile. And then you're able to customize the review widget if you want to put it on your website, as well as the review email that is sent out, as well as the review SMS that is sent out. So let's go back. And the very last thing that's on here is the reporting. So with reporting, you're able to see so many details about your business and what's going on. You can see that this is a bunch of sample data from a Google Ads account, and you're able to see details on each campaign, the clicks, the cost, the revenue, and lots of other details. Same thing for Facebook ads. This is sample data, and you're able to see each of the campaigns and all the details about them. For the attribution report, this is where you would go in order to see attribution data for your ads and users that are clicking on those ads. The call reporting tab is very useful if you are using GoHighLevel to do outbound cold calls. So if I were actually set up properly, I would have a Twilio number on here, and up in the top right here, it would probably be right next to this question mark. There would be a phone icon, and you are able to click on that and dial in numbers, or when you're on the contacts page, you're able to click on a contact and click on the phone icon to dial them. So this would be something that you could track call reporting for any of your team members that are doing cold calling or outreach on phone calls. And along those same lines is the agent reporting. In this section, you're able to see what your team members are doing and where they could use your help to grow your business. And for appointment reports, this allows you to get a look into how many appointments you've booked, how many have been confirmed, showed, no showed, etc., and give you insight into where you could improve your appointments. So that's it for the main sections of HighLevel. As far as the settings go, this is the main page where you're able to set up the company's name, email, etc., and their address. I've just put in dummy information since this is a demo account, and I won't get into all these little settings, but my staff is where you can actually add users. You can see that there are no users that are part of this location. This is where you can add employees so they can all be tracked in the different reporting sections, as well as who needs to follow up with who, etc. The pipeline management you've already seen. Calendar management you've already seen. Phone numbers is where we can actually connect and set up our own phone numbers through Twilio. So you can see that I don't have any right now. If I add a number, I can choose my area code and search for a phone number, and it will bring up a list of phone numbers. I kind of like this 465-1223. So we'll choose that, hit save. I'm not actually going to do it. Well, let's do it. And you can see that it's now added that phone number to my account. I'm just going to delete this because I don't want messages being sent out. So now that's gone. Reputation management, you've already seen. Custom fields, you already saw when we added that Google Business Profile link. Custom values is a little bit different. This is where you're able to add a value such as a from email. And let's say that my agency always uses the same from email. I don't want to type it on every single workflow. We're just going to use a custom value, and that way you can actually change it in every single location just by changing this value. So let's say it is jarrett@jssdigitalmarketing.com. We're going to save that, and then we can use this key, customvalues.fromEmail, in our workflows, and it will use the value from this key. So domains, that's where you can add any of your domains to set up to use with funnels or websites. Media, you've already seen. URL redirects, you've already seen. Integrations is a key part of this platform. This is where you're able to connect your Google Business Profile, your Facebook and Instagram accounts. If you use QuickBooks, you can connect that. And Stripe was actually moved over to the payments page, but this was where you connected it, as well as your Shopify store. So all of these things you're able to connect into GoHighLevel and run automations based on them, or message people back when they message you on Google, on Facebook, on Instagram. There's a ton of stuff that you're able to do from here. You can also connect your Google AdWords accounts, your Facebook advertising accounts, all through here. So let's go over to email services. The email services allows you to set up your email provider, and if you would like to change it, you can add a service here. Select the provider, Gmail, Yahoo, SendGrid, other. And by default, it's just going to choose the provider that I have set up for my agency for each one of the accounts in GoHighLevel. So tags, this is where you can create and manage the tags that you have for contacts. You can see these are all tags that have been created by the import that I did for this demo account, and you're able to delete them from here or do whatever you want. From these three dots, you can edit them as well. In the lab section, you can see what GoHighLevel is working on, and you can enable or disable features that they're working on, and that will make sure that if there are features that are very important to some of your clients, that they aren't being tested in beta for those clients. And the very last thing is the audit logs. These just allow you to see what's going on and who has been interacting with your account in GoHighLevel. And if any users were deleting anything, there are certain cases where you can restore those from here as well. So this was a very detailed overview of what HighLevel is for 2022. I hope that you found it useful, and if there are features of this that you would like to use and get rid of your other services that you're paying way too much for, then check for the link in the description. And the page will also detail some of the other things that you could possibly get rid of that I did not mention in this video as well. So go ahead and hop on over there. Once you sign up, it should send you a text, and you can reach out to me with questions over that text as well, and I would be happy to help. But thanks for watching and have a great day.